It's time for conversations. Who? What? How? Why?
Don't judge me until you know me. Don't underestimate me until you challenge me. And don't talk about me until you talk to me. Or better yet, mind your business and stop minding mine.
What will be today's conversation? Understanding viewpoints, educating, and stimulating discussions. It's time to connect to T-Horne, your host. It's time for conversations.
Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, T-Horne da Uncool, and this is my podcast, my segment, Conversations. The purpose of this podcast, to enlighten, to bring understanding, and just bring positive energy about situations that may be uncomfortable for most people to talk about. But guess what? We're going to talk about them on this podcast. We'll get understanding, we're going to have positive energy, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So, today's topic, you may ask, Black man versus the world. Now, I know that's a critical topic, but it's an issue today that's constantly going on with the whole, Black men getting killed by police officers and Black men having the hardest society and this and that. So I just want to talk about it and talk to people who have different views on the subject. We can get understanding of how hard it is as a Black man and certain things and struggles they go through in life. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and get started with the conversation. I have 6 topics I want to hit today. First one, society versus the Black man. Then number 2, woman versus the Black man. Number 3, the system versus the Black man. Number 4, the white man versus the Black man. Number 5, the Black man versus the Black man. And number 6, the Black man versus himself. Now, we're going to have other topics to talk about, other questions being asked, but these are the main issues I want to talk about today because I want to really focus on how people see the world being against Black men from the outside, if you're not a Black man, but also want to see from the view of a Black man, how you feel about the world being against you. I mean, some people say it's an opinion, some people say it's a fact, but we're going to figure it out today on Conversation with T-Horne da Uncool. So, first thing I want to talk about, society versus the Black man. So with me being a Black man myself, well, I'm not gonna say but from my point of view as a Black man, things are a little bit harder when it comes to us. Reason being is because it's like, we're looked at as a stereotype, like we're at the bottom of the barrel. With the whole thing, our history starts out with us being in slavery. And, when we came into slavery, came from Africa to America, the whole point was to break us down, to basically put us under a mindset, a control, stereotype type deal. So from being beaten to, being hung from trees to, just our whole image of the kings we are, or the kings we're supposed to be, being destroyed, it's put us in a certain stereotype, a certain mindset to the point where even years later, today, we're sitting here and we're trying to find our identity and trying to find our true selves, and we're still confused, trying to figure out who we are. Who are we? What are we supposed to be doing? Where do we stand in this world today? So I'm going to go ahead and get started and get a couple guests on and see what they have to say about it. My first guest is going to be Miss Sonia B. And I like the fact that we're bringing a woman on first, because a woman can give real insight, seeing how, from the outside looking in, how does she see a Black man when it comes to this whole stereotype of Black man versus the world? So let's go ahead and welcome Miss Sonia B. Sonia B. Hey, Sonia, what's up? How you doing? Got your mic on.
Hi, there you go. Thank you for allowing me to visit you on your show this evening. I'm looking forward to these conversations.
Hey, no problem. And like I said, the whole point of the conversation is like just, bring enlightenment and get people to understand certain scenarios, certain situations, and they can look at it a different way. So I don't know if you heard earlier, but I got 6, before we get into questions or talking anything, there's 6 topics I want to hit that I want everybody to expound on. The first one, society versus the Black man. The second one is the woman versus the black man. Then we have the system versus the black man, the white man versus the black man, the black man versus the black man, and the black man versus herself. So from being a black woman, and do you have any children first and foremost?
I do. I actually started kind of late. I'm 53 and I have an almost 12-year-old. So yes, I do.
Okay. So with you being a black woman, you raising a young black man, when it comes to the topic of society versus the black man, how you feel the black man is treated in society today?
I definitely can see a major difference between the way black men are treated. In fact, I was just having this conversation earlier. We were talking about political things and Trump and all of that, with this being an election year. I do think that black men are not treated as respectful as other nationalities. I won't even say just white men, but other nationalities seem to have more respect or revered more than the black man.
So, okay, I hear you on that. So with a black man going through society today, like, you know, we deal with things on the job. We deal with things with, you know, even simply driving the car and dealing with police. I know with me being a young black man, I'm 35 years old now, but if I'm driving my car and a police stops me, I know for a fact that I have more to worry about than the 35-year-old white man getting put on a police car, because I'm automatically seen as a threat. Like me, I'm nice. I'm the nicest black dude you'll probably ever meet. But the color of my skin, it automatically see a threat. And that's the thing that worries me about society as a whole, is like, you know, you can see all these stereotypes, but black men are the only ones that looked at as dangerous. And I've always been like, you know, that's always been a pet peeve of mine. If we can try our hardest to be successful, try our hardest to, you know, be humble, try our hardest to be nice to people, but no matter what, we're always looked at as a threat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What are your views on that?
I agree. It's something, there are some YouTubers that I watch and they have different scenarios. And I saw one where this black man, he owned a huge corporation. He was the biggest client for this bank. And he came into the bank after working out, and this white teller didn't know who he was. And she was just so rude to him. How do you have this type of money? I bet you sell drugs and things like that. And it is a really horrible misconception that black men are seen as hustlers more so than businessmen.
That's crazy. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say a white man can come in the same sweaty gym clothes, and you know they are more respected.
You know, that's crazy you said that, because me and my wife were watching the movie on Netflix. I can't think of the name of the movie off the top of my head, but I know for a fact it had what's the lady who played in Pretty Woman?
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts was the wife in that movie. It had Ethan Hunt, I think, was the husband, and they were renting an Airbnb from Mahershala Ali. And when, there was something going on. There's some big plot to it, so I don't want to get too deep into it. But the thing that caught my attention is when Mahershala Ali and his daughter had to come to the house because something was crazy was going on in the city. So when it came to the house, that they were what's her name again? The lady's name.
Julia Roberts. Roberts. Yeah.
And Julia Roberts came to the door, and her husband came to the door. The first thing Julia Roberts saw was a black man, and they were staying in a really nice house. And her thing was, "This isn't your house. You're lying. There's no way this could be your house." Because she saw a black man and a black young lady. I was like, this nice, expensive house, there's no way you could afford this, or this would be your house and stuff like that. And it's crazy. And it's right. And it's crazy because even though that's a movie, that hit on so many real life situations today. You know what I mean? Even with the whole thing of Trayvon Martin. I know that's years ago and everything, but it's still popular today. When the young man went and got stereotyped because he had a hoodie on, and he had a bag of Skittles, and Zimmerman shot him because he
Right.
basically identified him being a black young man as a threat when he was just a young kid trying to get some, you know what I mean? And that's the stuff.
Right.
Oh, it's like we got another guest. We have Shamari Sawyer ready to join the conversation too. Oh, that's gonna be good. This will be good. Shamari, what's up, man?
What's up? How you doing, man? Long
I'm
time
good,
no
man.
see.
Right. So, the backstory on Shamari. So, me and Shamari actually first met back in the day when I first started doing Christian hip hop. Back when I was doing Christian hip hop, and Shamari actually helped me record my first music video a long time ago. Now, right. Now we were in the trial basically trying to figure things out, but and we lost contact. But Shamari, he's always been A1 in my book, and it's good to see you again. I'm glad you can step up on the conversations, man. So the topic of today: Black man versus the world. I'm gonna give you the same insight I gave Sonya. The topics I want to hit on are it's popping up. There you go. Society versus the black man. That's the first topic I want to hit. If you hit on the woman versus the black man, then we're going to the system versus the black man, then the white man versus the black man, then the black man versus the black man, and the last one, the black man versus himself. So just to give not to confuse you guys, the 5 and 6, I know it's the black man versus the black man versus himself. When I say that, I mean the black man versus like other black men, like how we see each other. And then the black man versus himself, like how does he deal with things internally, dealing with all the struggles and the trials he goes through in everyday life. So, with you being a black man and Miss Sonya being a black woman who's raising a young black man herself, I believe you guys will get good insight on what's going on. So, with any of the topics, Shamara, we just got done talking about how I just saw a movie talking about, black stereotyping seen in the movie. So, with you being a black man yourself and dealing with things in everyday life, how do you feel when it comes to us as black men facing the world every day?
Shoot, man, that could be a multi-hour conversation.
Mm-hmm. We got the time, brother. We got the time.
Black men face several stereotypes. I think there's a couple of stereotypes. The angry black man. Okay. Yeah. There's the conscious, educated Negro. There's a hustler black man. Mm-hmm. There's a titan of industry black man, and there's a Lothario black man. Okay. And like those are usually the stereotypes that people and not just people outside of our race, but people within our race expect us as black men to kind of fall into.
Right.
And if you don't, you're kind of a failure. You're seen as a failure as a black man.
Mm-hmm. So, just elaborate for people who's watching. What are some of those stereotypes that it fit into to basically see as a black man? I'm talking about the good ones and the positive ones and the negative ones that that you've seen in everyday life. Right?
Oh, I've seen. Like again, I'll circle back to like the hustler black man. Mm-hmm. That could be played both ways. Okay. It could be, listen, whatever you're going through, you're going to get it, you're going to make it happen. Mm-hmm. But then there's a flip side to that kind of gives over into criminality where, listen, if you can't get it by hook, get it by crook. Mm-hmm. And as a black man, you almost don't have a lot of wiggle room to like be broken and be down. Like I was talking to a friend of mine a few days ago, and I was like, listen, you can do a lot as a black man. You can cheat, you can lie, you can steal, but you can't be broke.
Right.
Can't do it. Like you can't do it. That is the unforgivable sin.
Mm-hmm. Sonya B, what you got to say? I'm sorry, I mean interrupt, but I'm trying to get insight on both. That's all. Sonya, what you got? Give me a stereotype that you feel.
I hate to say it. I definitely I agree with what Shamari is saying because and this is black versus ourselves. I definitely lose a little respect for a man who is sitting at home on unemployment instead of being out there doing something to, just, God, that sounds so terrible, but it's so true. I hate to feel like why are you just sitting at home? I have my boyfriend. Oh God, I hope he doesn't see this. But he has his own business.
We need viewers.
Right, I hope he does see this. Right, I'm sorry. He has his own business, and 30 days ago, he dealt with this company that owes him $5,000, and he needs that $5,000. And I was like, it's time for some legal intervention. And he was like, oh no, I don't, kind of like, I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to make the white man mad, because then he won't come back to me. Mm-hmm. But you need that money. You need it. You know.
Can I interject? I'm not trying. So one thing I get used to, I interject a lot. So just forgive me. I'm not trying to.
Okay, no problem.
So I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm hearing what Shamar saying. To back up what you're saying, Sonia. The whole thing about the black man sitting around not doing anything. Just from my insight, I'm not the type to do that. First and foremost, my wife would tell you, she like, Terrence gonna get out there and he gonna find a way. He's gonna find a way no matter what. Even if he gotta work all night, he's gonna find a way. But for me, seeing other brothers going to certain situations, the color of our skin already makes it hard enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can have the same credentials as a white man, and I'm not trying to make it a whole white and black thing, but it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Saying because me and this white man can both have a degree, can both have the same years of experience as a job, can both talk the same way, but because I simply look a different way, majority of the time, the white man's gonna get chosen over me. And don't let me have anything like a felony, or don't let me not have graduated high school, or not have that college degree. It's like the skin color is already holding us back. So when we not only are we held back, but when other stuff happens in our lives, and sometimes it is our fault, but what times it's not our fault? What about times where, say hypothetically, we're with our friends and when we're younger, and they go rob a bank, and we're just in the car, not knowing they're gonna go rob a bank, but because we're in the car, we get hit with those same felony charges, and now those felony charges follow us the rest of our life, knowing it wasn't our fault, but now we can't do certain things, stuff like that, so it makes it hard. And I think it's a pride thing, because not every man that gets out of jail wants to come out here and say, oh, I'm gonna get it by any means. I'm gonna wash cars, I'm gonna cut yards, I'm gonna be the man standing on the side of the road, spinning the sign, just do it. No, some people have pride. Some people know that, hey, I'm better than this. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think a lot of times, and I think I want to give insight to people, because there are some people in this world that look at black men sitting at home and say, hey, he ain't doing nothing, he a bum. But it's not about that all the time. Sometimes it's a pride thing. And system and society kind of makes it hard for us, even for us who don't have any negative issues against us, just to come out and do great things. And you really it's like we're constantly trying to prove ourselves to the world and prove our worth as a black man. So we got a conversation. What's up, Shamar? Go ahead.
Can I add something to that? Your statement.
Go ahead, boss. Go ahead. Do you think?
I think on the back end, we have, as a community, we have been trained to shame each other when we fall. Like, I watched a documentary on Black Wall Street. I watched it a couple of times a year, and how they spoke about how black people dealt with each other in the community was such a stark contrast to how we do it today. Because if I owned a company and Terrence didn't have a job, I'm not gonna just sit back and watch Terrence struggle. I'm like, hey, bro, you need a gig? I guess I'll find something for you to do. You're part of the community. Now, if you're like, no, I don't want to do it. Okay, then we gotta have a come to Jesus conversation. Like, okay, why don't you want to work? But today we're gonna find that energy. If you just a bum, you see, look at that bum, and we're just gonna let you, we're gonna let you crash out. On the side of that, there's a little bit of shame in terms of like getting it out the mud.
Right.
I've heard people talk down on just a regular guy who makes an adequate living to take care of his family. So it creates that little sense of shame of like, dang, I got to go work at McDonald's. There's nothing wrong with working at McDonald's. You're getting a check.
Right.
But, a lot of people community. I'm like, oh man, you working at McDonald's?
Right.
Hey, while you playing, and this might show my age, you know what I'm saying? But while you playing, back in the day, McDonald's was a job. Because when Calvin got the job at McDonald's, Calvin was doing it. You feel me? Like, what? Calvin got a job? Calvin got a job.
Remember that commercial?
That's the difference with society today. Because back in the day, Calvin was making it big, getting the job.
That's right. Yeah.
You ain't doing that with your life. You ain't doing that. Commercial. Hey man, sit there doing, man. You ain't doing nothing. What you doing, man? You wasting time, man. Go to college, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh my gosh. Wow.
But real quick, y'all, we got a conversation starter. It says, your hair does not distinguish you, or does it? So real quick, let's speak on that real quick. I believe it does, but it doesn't. And I'm guilty of this because I personally have had so many hairstyles coming up in these years. I've had braids, I've had dreads, I've had the regular low cut, I had the low cut with the waves, I had the curly fro, I had the fade, all that stuff and everything. So, and you know, that's just me being versatile and like, hey, I want to try new stuff and everything. But I felt like in my older years, but believe it or not, this hair I got now, it's a little curly, little mini fro, so like that and everything. But before this, I actually had braids. And I cut my hair because I want to have a more professional look. You know? And honestly, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I felt as a black man, me having braids versus me having a lower hairstyle or just something like a little mini fro, sponge, just like fade, just like that and everything, it made me look more professional overall. Now that's not saying that's the right way of thinking, but I do feel like, how can I say this? Now I'm not saying having braids or dreads makes you who you are, because you can have dreads and have them all nice and neat and stuff like that, and braids, have them tied, like, you know what I'm saying, to the skull and stuff, and look really professional and stuff like that. But I do believe your hair distinguishes you as far as your upkeep as a black man, if that makes sense. Like, you can have dreads and have them real neat and nice, or you can have the big old dookie clump dreads and wigs and looking crazy. Like, you ain't getting no job being no CEO of no company with these clump dookies. I mean, that's just my opinion, and I could be wrong on that. So if y'all want to speak on that, give me some insight. Give the viewers some insight on what y'all think.
Well,
you lost somebody. What happened? What's going on? Oh, you back? Well, you back.
Okay, I'm here. Okay. I mean, as you can see, I have purple hair, and I definitely have it as more of a conversation starter. But in my former profession, which was a court reporter, I never would have done this. I never would have had the color. And one time I had, if you all remember Janet Jackson in Poetic Justice, and all the women were wearing those long braids that went, and they were neat. And my boss, I worked freelance as a court reporter, and my boss was a black woman, and she would not send me out until I took those braids out. She said, I cannot present you to white lawyers and white judges with braids in your hair. And it was, I was devastated. I mean, I was in my early 30s, I guess. And I went home, I told my mother, like, not only did I pay some good money for these braids, but my black female boss wants me to take them out. And I had to take them out because I couldn't work with them. And I think that I think that nowadays it's more respected. I see more people with locks and sister locks, and but you know, they have to be maintained. And I think any neat look should be considered professional, but I don't think that that's the way the world works.
Right, definitely not. Oh, let me say this real quick. So you talk about, you know, you paid money for it. When a black woman pays for her hair, weave is natural. That's her hair. She paying for it. That's hers. So y'all Negroes, stop trying these women about their weave.
I love it. Thank you.
Insight on it, man.
Man, again, another complicated topic. I think it depends on environment, culture. I mean, like the lady to my, to the side is wearing brightly colored purple hair. Mm-hmm. Depending on the environment, that may be perfectly acceptable. But then in other environments, it may be considered, she's ratchet. And that could be, I mean, like that.
Oh my God. I've never been called that before. I've never been called that, but I understand.
One of the conversations to put it out on the table, man. Before we go deeper into this, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Samari. But before we go deeper into this conversation, I gotta ask. I see you got the Scully on. Are you still bald?
Oh, yeah, I shaved my head.
Huh?
Yeah, I shaved my head.
Man, you can't talk about this subject, man. I'm joking, man. I'm joking. You know I had to crack a joke. You know how I am, man. But continue your insights, because we definitely appreciate your insight on conversations. I'd like to make that little small joke real quick. Small joke.
Yeah, it's all good. But like, I think culturally, corporately, I think it just kind of depends on where you are. Because there are hairstyles that we accept that people outside of our culture won't accept. Like my mother used to rock red hair, and she used to go to the doctor's office, and I never saw anything wrong with it, because for me, your hair didn't dictate your personality, But then there's also kind of like, there are women out there that do have brightly colored hair, and they have created a stigma around brightly colored hair when you see it. So it's kind of like, I think it goes to your answer. It kind of does distinguish who you are, but it doesn't. I think it's complicated, because even in the community, I could see Sonia and be like, oh, she's just a regular lady expressing herself. Someone else could see Sonia, depending on where they, grown up, where they live, and they go, oh, she out here like that. She like on a sexy red tip. Gotcha.
So I want to give some insight on that. But before I continue to give my insight, we got another guest on the line ready to join us. Dedicated John. He's ready for conversations. Let's go ahead and invite him in. Come on in, John.
What's up, people?
John boy, what's up, man?
What's going on? I just was checking y'all out for a little bit.
All right, so insight on John. This is actually, I love this man. John is actually one of my closest friends back since I was 9 years old. And John, you mind if I give a little, like some personal insight on you? Because there's a reason I like. Okay, so he gave me my permission, y'all. So if he say something, you know what I'm saying, y'all know you're gonna jump him verbally. All right. But like I said, John's been my friend since I was 9 years old. And me and John grew up, with the same upbringing, basically, going on the same path. But, as you get older, you start to diverge down different paths. I went on my journey as a black man. He went on his journey as a black man. And because of the things we went through, we faced a lot of different things. So with John, he ended up going through the system because of things I will not admit, because that's his personal business and everything like that. But he came out a felon. Because he was a felon, he faced a lot of stuff when it came to coming back to the real world and getting himself together. But even though he faced all that stuff, he didn't let it hold him back from doing things he needed to do. He went from being a felon and being in prison to getting out, getting a good job, leaving that good job, starting his own business, marrying a beautiful woman, establishing a family, and becoming a very successful entrepreneur. And though me and him are the same age, we've been friends since we were little kids, I look up to him very much for his business insight, his mindset, and his just get up and go all the time. So that's why I invited John to the show, because I know for a fact that John could give very good insight on being a black man facing those struggles and talking about how he dealt with them and how he deals with them today. So Everybody clap up for John. Clap it up for John Alexander. Clap it up. Clap it up.
That's great. That was a great testimony.
Hey man, I try to do it for all y'all. Know what I'm saying? I use what I know and build it up to the best of my ability. You feel me?
Hey,
So,
okay.
are you sweating? Are you sweating? So, with that being said, John, we're talking about Black man versus the world and the struggles that Black men face dealing with the world today. And there's 6 topics I want to hit on. The first topic was, oh man, I'm having trouble remembering my topics. Hopefully they pop up on the screen real soon. Let's see if my guardian angel can help me out a little bit. The first subject was, come on the screen, pop up on the screen, and it's not helping. Guardian angel, where you at now? Where you at? There we go.
Black man versus society. Yes.
Black man is the first one we're talking about. We give insight on. The number 2 one was, come on, the woman versus the Black man. Number 3 was the system versus the Black man. Number 4 is the white man versus the Black man. Number 5 is the Black man versus the Black man. And when I say that, I'm talking about how us as Black men look at other Black men. And then number 6 was the Black man versus himself. Basically speaking on with dealing with those struggles and dealing with all that negativity in the world, how does the Black man view himself? So, with your situations, John, tell me how you feel when it comes to the Black man facing all this adversity and stuff in the world and everything.
I mean, I like all the subjects there because they are really specific, and I don't know. I guess my personal take would be being a Black man in the world is kind of like a walking contradiction, you know.
Okay, insight, please.
I mean, that's just the way I feel because, you know, we have our own culture, we have our own set of ways that we're brought up, and we talk a certain way amongst each other. We do all that, and then when it comes time to be in certain other environments, or it's time to make some money, or time to do a lot of things in just an environment where we all might not be prevalent, it's other races around us. Sometimes it will cause us to or require us to do what they call code switching.
Code switching, yeah.
Damn, you have right on that. You have right on
that.
that.
It was right on the thing. That was right on point. But like, it's a tough thing that I talk to my wife about a lot often. I talk to my pops about it too. It's a hard thing dealing with. I can speak well for myself. And I try my best, especially like when I'm on the phone, dealing with customers, dealing with people I'm trying to do business with. And in the industry I'm in, just like any other industry, it's a lot of racism. So my dad, he overheard me on the phone the other day doing a business call. He was like, man, I think you need to dial back, you know, talking so urban, you know what I mean? Like, they don't necessarily need to know you a Black man on the other end. And, you know, I tell him, you know, at the same time, it's like I'm trying to speak a certain way, but, you know, Black people, some Black people, a lot of Black people, you just know they're Black, no matter how they talk.
Right.
You know they Black. Like, just, I don't know, I think it may be the tone or something, just like some white people, no matter how they talk, you know they white. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's nothing wrong with it. We, as Black people, at least I can speak for myself and my family and everybody I knew, we weren't really raised to hate a certain race or not deal with people because they're a certain race. But other races do that. Mm-hmm. So it seems like we're really segregated. You know what I mean? Like, we're really I don't want to say picked on, but basically, like, you know, we're here and then a lot of other people view us certain ways for some reason.
If I could interject for a second, John. So the code switching thing. Me personally, I don't feel like, honestly, that you should have any shame in having your Black voice. But because of the way society is, and me and you, we've talked, and, you know, we've worked together and stuff like that and everything. I know for a fact, personally, me, even talking right now, if you heard me on the phone, when I've done job interviews or, just talk to certain people and I meet the people in person, people will automatically say, oh man, I thought you were a white dude. You sound like a white guy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's almost like a natural thing because of how society puts it. When you're white, you're right. You know what I'm saying? And when you're black, you lack. And that's just the mindset that people have. So it's to the point, like for example, me and John, you've been friends for a while. Shamari, I've known you for a while and everything with the rapping and stuff like that and everything. When I talk to y'all, I just regular T-Horne. Hey, what's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? How you doing and stuff like that and everything. But then as soon as my job calls or something with business calls, hello, this is T-Horne. How can I help you? Right. It's so automatic because I have no shame in being who I am. I'm not no shame in being the black man I am today. But it's just like, it's so crazy how automatic it is because of the stereotypes put in, because you're trained from a young age to realize like anything you do that's black is too urban or too ghetto or too ratchet, from the way we talk, which produces code switching, from the conversation we had before of how you wear your hair and stuff like that. It's like everything that's said about us or every stereotype we have is looked at as wrong, especially as black men. And I don't know, man. It's like, how do y'all feel we can overcome that as a people? Not just as men, but as a people overall, It
won't stop. It won't stop until y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it's gonna stop until the mass music that we as black people produce and put out there as entertainment for other people to see us as it. Unless that changes, I don't think the way people view us is gonna change.
That's a good point. Shamari, Sonia, what y'all got to say on the topic? Y'all think it's gonna change?
Golly, again, complex subject matter. I think music definitely is a part of it. I got a little bit of salt in the old dust mop. I'm a little bit older. I grew up in the 80s when we had Cool J, Run DMC, Queen Latifah. Grew up on Lauryn Hill. We've always had party music and gangster rap, sexual music. But we also had conscious music that reminds us of our excellence as black people. Talib Kweli, Killer Mike, Black Thought, Pharaoh Monch, all those kind of people.
Right.
And we've lost a lot of that. You don't really hear people talking about love, talking about, getting it out of the gutter the right way, or people talking about raising their family. I was just listening to a couple of tracks yesterday, Common, and I'm like, dang, man, we have been talking about loving your girl and raising the family. What happened to that? I was even listening to Too Short, Getting It. And this dude talked about pimping his whole career. Right. And even he had a track talking about, hey, yo, listen, go to college, get an education. He took time out of his career to be like, listen, let me speak on some black excellence for a minute. And we don't have a lot of that. Now, there's some in the underground. In terms of mainstream music, we don't have that. Even Tupac, when he made I Ain't Mad at You. This dude talking about killing and stuff and getting women his whole career. And he was like, hey, listen, let me shout out people that the way what I've been talking about. Oh, you a Christian now? Congratulations. What do we have? What kind of songs do we have that promotes that today? I listened to Sex when it first came out, and I'm like, man, this is trash. Throw the whole game away.
So with that being said, what you saying all that, Shamari, it kind of plays into another topic I want to hit on, and that's the system versus the black man. So I personally feel like, and I may be wrong, that this is all a systematic plot against the black man to keep the black man where he's at. And I'm saying that to say this. I've been raised in a Christian household my whole life. But my favorite scripture has always been study to show thyself approved. When I got of older age, I know I was taught certain things in the Christian church, but I wanted to study it for myself because I faced God. I don't want it to be like, God, I did this because my pastor said do it. I want to know the facts for myself. So I studied from Egyptology to the Muslim faith to Hebrew Israelites. And with all that stuff, I'm wanting to piggyback on the Hebrew Israelite thing. Hebrew Israelites have this mindset, not mindset. They believe, that's one of the words. They believe that the black people are the true chosen people of God, and that the black men are kings of this world. And the reason they're above the other nations is not because they're better or anything like that, but because they're supposed to be the leaders that lead the rest of the nations to God. So I'm saying to say this. Some people believe that because black people are supposed to be spiritually so higher up, that the white man and the system has broken them down, so they don't know their true identity and who they are. Kind of like a whole jealousy thing. Like, if we keep you down, you'll never realize the greatness that you have in yourselves as a black man. Because you know, we always do this thing where people introduce each other as black people, like, oh, grand rising kings and stuff like that and everything, to try to speak life into each other and stuff like that and everything. But then you're saying grand rising king to the boy who's sagging his pants already, got a gun in his pocket, about to rob the liquor store, you know what I'm saying? Or the man who's been constantly cheating on his wife, or the man who ain't there raising his kids and stuff like that, because those mindsets are even put in our head. So now the reprogramming is hard. I said that because when I said the music like, is part of the systematic plot to keep us down. So do y'all feel like the system is a problem, and there is a plot in order to keep the black man down and realizing who he truly is?
Well, I want to. I'm sorry, Shamari. I just want to jump in there for a second. I do think that music influences so many things in people's lives. Gospel music. I mean, I'm from Detroit. I'm in Detroit, and so I'm, the Motor City, and we are Motown. However, I don't think things will change because of how far back it's gone. The lighter skin, I would be a house nigga. I hate to say it, but the lighter skinned person would be in the house, whereas you brown brothers would be out there in the field. And that's not, that has nothing to do with music. That has to do with how we were seen by white people, more revered, oh, you're the one that the white man had with his maid in the house. So, you're a mulatto, or it's so derogatory to say. I'm so sorry. But, I mean, I'm a full black woman. I just need some sun. I mean, I'm in Michigan. It snowed yesterday. But, I do know that I have a friend. She is lily white, and she lived in Tennessee, and her boyfriend had an issue where he was purveying some materials. He was selling coke. He was selling cocaine. He's in jail and has been for 8 years. She's here. And why wasn't she considered an accomplice? They busted into their house. She had the coke in her purse. But I'm saying all that to say that I don't think that it'll ever change. No, not even within our community, and not from the system.
Okay. So another topic came up that we haven't hit on. Well, I want to hit on this. I definitely want to hit on this one right here.
Uh-oh.
The woman versus the black man.
Definitely want to hit on this one, huh?
Right, definitely. I see John trying to be funny. I had a crazy past with women.
Nah, like you didn't beat up no women in that, buddy.
I ain't beat up nobody. But I've been a player in my day. You know what I'm saying? I got a good woman now that keep me on the good foot. Miss Cassandra Horn, she doing her thing. Thank God for her. I love her to death. But the woman versus the black man. The reason I put that on there is because Miss Sonia, you said something earlier that really got to me about this subject. You hate seeing when a black man is at the house sitting on the couch not doing nothing. We hope your mans don't see this. But you made a good point. It's hard for women today's age to see the black man as the king he's supposed to be.
Yes.
And there's so many reasons for that. And with you being a woman, maybe you could give some insight about how black men are viewed today. And if I could, before you go into it, I just want to say, like, I see a lot of situations where, it says in the Bible, let's just speak about marriage for a second. It says in the Bible
man is the head of the household.
Yeah, husbands be head of the household and women will submit to her husband. But we have so many women that give these nasty attitudes to men, black men, don't feel like they gotta listen to them and stuff like that. Don't feel like that the men can't lead and they have to naturally step into the leadership position because of the stereotype the black man has today as, he just, somebody baby daddy, or, so many of us black men are living with our baby mamas and, they the breadwinners and the heads of the household and stuff like that and everything. And just, I think black women look at us today as weak. Not all of us, but majority of us, we look at that as weak men when it comes to the black men. How you feel about that?
It's unfortunate, but sometimes we are forced to be the head of the household, and then our men are dependents. They're dependent on us. How can I respect you? What do you mean? You want some what? You want some sloppy toppy? And you've been sitting at home all day. I've been at work, and you couldn't even fry some chicken for me to come home to work. You better take care of yourself. I just, how can you? I don't know how I can respect a man. My father is 78. He will be 79 years old. He still works, and he retired from Chrysler, and he was teaching driver's ed while I was, in high school. He made it happen. There's always a hustle. Go out there, sell some plasma, something. You need to be doing something. I'm sorry, I can't respect you if you are sitting at home collecting a check from the state. I'm sorry. And I've been on unemployment. I definitely, during the pandemic, I was here in third grade because we were shut down. So I was collecting unemployment. However, I feel like people understood because I got to take care of my baby. There was no school. I had to homeschool. But my man, okay, the pandemic's been over for 4 years. It's over. Go do something. I can't respect you when you're sitting at home.
Okay, so what about this? Let's flip the scenario. Let's say you have a black man that works hard, takes care of his household, takes care of you, takes care of the kids, bills stay paid, he's loving and catering to you and stuff like that and everything. And he comes to you with that same, hey, I want to keep it real. I want some slap top. I want some good head or something like that and everything. Or I want you to really show out in the bedroom or something like that. Give me massages and that and everything. I think the thing is today, black women, women in general, are so used to the black man being sorry that when you finally get a good man, you're so used to giving that attitude and giving that disrespect and having that unsubmissive nature that you finally get a good man doing what you're supposed to do, and you can't even submit to him. And then you put
I totally agree.
And you then they have a defensive mindset where it's like, you just want me to listen to everything you say, or I don't gotta do that because they're used to lead for so long that it's difficult to let somebody else lead. They only lead by a situational basis when they feel like they want you to lead, not all the time.
Right.
You feel me? Go ahead, Shamari. I'm sorry. No, I know you got something too, so we'll get to you also.
I got to jump in on this conversation. I'm going to combine women in the system, because this bifurcation between black men and women specifically has been going on for decades. It started when we were enslaved. They took away, I talk about the men's ability to protect our community. And I'm talking about the larger side. When we got to America, they broke up our ability to protect our home. And then they destroyed our ability to protect ourselves. So women have been looking at, and it wasn't our fault at that time, women have been looking at black men failing for, centuries. And then you can go into how crack and cocaine was introduced into the black neighborhoods. So now black men are going to jail, black men are getting strung out, black men are selling weight. So now, the idea of the woman needing to be the leader is further enforced. And you have boys growing up without fathers who become carbon copies of the man that left them. So now they grow up and they're sorry because they never got taught how to be a man. And then they get with a woman and they mess her over. And then she gets pregnant, teaches her daughter, hey, don't get like this type of dude. But mama's not teaching her like the nuance, like, hey, listen, don't get with a dude like that. But there are good black men out here. I'm not telling you to get everybody with suspicion. I'm just telling you to do your due diligence. So guess what? Baby girl goes out there and it's like as soon as one iota of dust is seen on your shoulder, she kicks you to the curb. Right. Not interested. But then on top of that, okay, I've held men accountable. Let me hold women accountable. You'll have a good dude, okay? And I'll speak to John. Maybe he just got out, but he's on the grind. He's getting it together. He's working at it. You know what I'm saying? But like, the woman doesn't have the patience to give him grace to see the finish line of his hustle. She just says, "Oh, this dude ex-con, and I see you working at it, but he ain't there yet." Hey, listen, man, if you ever make it, give me a call. So John's like, dang, I could have went out here and started pushing my weight, but I'm out here trying to get it the good way, and I still can't get any. But it's true. And some men take that, thankfully, John, and I ain't saying that's John's situation, I'm just using them as an example. Right. But like, there are men out there who are like, you know what, I'm not going to let that disturb me. I'm going to keep grinding. Then there are men out there that get hurt and internalize that. So guess what? We get futures and we get weekends who turn around and start creating the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's a vicious cycle.
And you know what? Wait, well, so John, we'll get more insight when we come back. We gotta take a break real quick, but I'm loving the conversation, and we're gonna keep it going. John, you got some insight. I want to say some things too about the situation with the black man versus the woman. We'll get back to it right after this break. All right.
If you or someone you know needs help coping with depression, anxiety, or PTSD, overcoming low self-esteem, or managing major life transitions, we invite you to schedule a free consultation call for telehealth clients. Shekinah Downs, licensed clinical social worker, is now accepting new telehealth clients in the office too. Schedule a free consultation by calling 386-385-4483. That's 386-385-4483. In the brand new Daytona Beach office as well. 50 to 60 minute individual therapy sessions and a variety of insurance plans are accepted. Couples therapy and coaching is coming soon. We invite you to log on to cjaqis.com. Schedule a free consultation by calling 386-385-4483. That's 386-385-4483. I am in my happy place, and I've got Georgia on my mind. Save the date. It's time to shine at the 8th annual Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar and Weekend Retreat. Join us September 19th through the 22nd, 2024 in historic St. Mary's, Georgia. A fundraiser for the National Alopecia Areata Foundation, spreading awareness and acceptance. Follow us on Facebook, Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar. Our host hotel this year is the Shore Stay Plus by Best Western, St. Mary's, Cumberland. Weekend retreat activities include the Friday Fun Photo Shoot, picnic lunch back at the hotel, and the Royal Blue Beauty Bazaar Fashion Show takes place on Saturday. For more information, call 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519. I'm in my happy place. Come join me. Pastor Mary Hope and the congregation of It's All About Jesus and Me Teaching Ministry Incorporated cordially invite you to join us in our new worship service location.
Just to stand for a minute and just be thankful for parents.
Our theme for the year is Follow Instructions, coming from John chapter 2, verses 1 through 12. We gather together on the first and third Sundays of each month at 2:30 p.m. Join us at the Willie Gallimore Community Center, located at 399 Riviera Street, St. Augustine, Florida. For more information, please call 904-334-8849. That's 904-334-8849. It's all about Jesus and me, teaching ministry.
What's up, everybody? It's T-Horne da Uncool, and we are back. We are back talking about our topic, Black Man versus the World. And we left off talking about a real critical subject. We're on the woman versus the Black man. And we have my guests coming back to the set. We have Sonia B., Shamari, and Dedicated John coming back to speak on the issue. Once again, we're on the woman versus the Black man. And as it does come back, I'm going to speak a little bit. So I want to get some insight. We talked about, how the woman looks at the Black man as weak. We talk about how this stereotype has been set generations back, all the way going back to slavery, and how it has an effect on things right now. And one thing I want to hit is, yes, I understand that, history has done us dirty, very dirty. And, Black men, we get the bad end of the stick. But I want to hit on the fact of how the Black man responds when he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's being a provider of the household. He's being the protector, and he's doing everything he's supposed to do. But we're still getting that attitude from Black women, still getting the whole mindset of, I don't have to submit to a man and this and that. Then the man, when he's not getting what he needs from that woman, he ends up going to find exactly what he needs. The man naturally has a hunter instinct. I'm saying not the Black man, not the white man. The man naturally has a hunter instinct. And what a hunter does, a hunter goes out and finds that nourishment that he needs. If he's hungry, he's going to fill that void. If he's cold, he's going to go hunt down that animal and get that fur to warm him up. If he needs shelter, he's going to go find the things he needs to build that shelter. He has that hunter protection, I need to do for myself and find what I need instinct. So with the woman giving him so much attitude, or rebuttaling against everything he has to say, or just trying to take the lead position all the time, there are a lot of times where the Black man goes into this mindset of what you want to do, somebody else will. I'm speaking from past experiences because I have a past as a player and a cheater, and I'm not saying it's right. I'm just trying to give understanding on why the man goes to this mindset. And there are times where some men just do this just to do this because they're dogs. But I'm not talking about those men. I'm talking the men who actually do what they're supposed to do. I know that I've had times in the past where I've done everything I'm supposed to do, and I deal with a nasty attitude, and I'm like, hey, well, you give me a nasty attitude, but this girl over here, she real submissive and hear everything I say. I'm gonna give her my time and give her my attention. And I wasn't man enough to break away and get away from that situation because I still want to be with that girl, but I was filling the void because that natural hunter instinct in me is like, I need something, so I'm gonna go get it. And you're not giving it to me, so I'm finding somewhere else. Oh, look at, we got Sonya on the, Lord. She been eat me up. She been eat me up, y'all.
Oh boy. Natural hunter instinct.
So let me give you let me put some fine print on that before you eat me alive. I'm being honest, to give some fine print. So, like I said before, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying I agree with it. Am I speaking from experience? Yes, I am, because I've done this in the past. Luckily, God has blessed me with a beautiful, loving woman that I feel no need to cheat. I couldn't do nothing to hurt her. She's my everything. I love her to death. And it took maturity to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? But living my life, and there's been times where I've been with women. I've done it. I took care of the household. You know, I made sure she felt protected. I provided. The kids were straight. You know what I'm saying? I've had times where a woman didn't have to do anything but just live off me and just be a housewife. And you still deal with attitude. You still deal with, oh, I want to have sex, but you don't want to give it up because you're tired or because you don't feel like it and stuff like that. I still deal with the choosing your family over me when it's supposed to be us. And so there's so many things you still deal with. And because of that, I myself, I can't speak for all men, but I can speak for I myself in the past, have gone out and said, okay, what you won't do, somebody else will. So,
but why not just leave? I mean, I have never been called ratchet until Shamari called me ratchet today. But
the freaking devil.
But I don't understand. And my papa was a Rolling Stone. I have a sister that I just met under 10 years ago that I didn't know about. And, you know, my dad was out there and we wouldn't have known it. He was still bringing the paychecks home as far as we knew. And I mean, we were kids. It wasn't our business to know. However, that mindset of, well, if you won't do it, someone else will. Okay, then leave me alone. Don't go and look for somebody else that will. There's a reason I don't want to give you sloppy toppy. And if you are out there getting sloppy toppy from somebody else, I'm definitely not going. I'm not washing your drawers, and I'm not giving you no sloppy toppy. So just leave.
I got you, and I agree with you. I said that took some maturity. Now I'm not the same T-Horne I was back in the day. That I am now.
Right. And it takes maturity for a woman to say, you know what? Okay, I understand that. You have your own business and you're working, like John said, you're working 23 out of 24 hours a day, but I miss you. And I don't mean to have an attitude, but I resent that I don't have you anymore. It's a resentment. And unfortunately that comes back to attitude. When you're resentful, you have an attitude.
Understood. I can understand that. I'm just saying, like, in the fact of the matter of a man, like y'all ask for a man to do so much, and a man becomes that. My problem is men don't
ask for a lot from us. They expect us to still be sexy, keep our nails done, keep our hair done, fry the chicken and still be a whore in the bedroom and a lady in the streets. And you want all that from us.
It's a vice versa thing. Neither side is guilty because a woman's going to expect a man to protect her. From personal experience, like when it comes to my money, what money? You know what I'm saying? My money generally goes to the house, my wife, and kids, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? They gotta have my wife because if I didn't have my wife, you know what I'm saying, I'd be just around here, nothing to eat. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff, clothes getting washed. You know what I'm saying? She pick up after me and stuff like that and everything. It's a vice versa thing. You know what I'm saying? Like. Don't call me a king and then don't treat me like a king. But vice versa. Don't call her a queen, but then you run here cheating. You run here being late. You know what I'm saying? Because even though the king is over the queen, the king still pampers his queen and still takes care of his queen and stuff like that and everything. So it's the mind, it's the reality that we've been put into. And it's like you put the black man and the woman constantly at war. Yeah, calling each other kings and we calling each other queens, but one mindset I always have, I don't believe what you say. I believe what you do.
That's right. Show me. Right.
All the time. Don't call me no king. You around here, you know what I'm saying, getting an attitude with me, you cussing me out, and can't listen to a word I say, you know what I'm saying, and you trying to take the lead all the time, but you say I'm your king. It's vice versa.
Yeah.
I can't call you my queen, but I'm not leading you, and I'm not taking care of you. And another thing that I had to learn in my marriage, that even though the man's the lead, the queen still gives insight to the king, and they rule together. It's not just the one man show, and I'm still learning that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm to the point. I'm so dogmatic. I'm like, listen to me, and that's what it is and everything. I'm gonna help myself with my wife because some fact, like, okay, this is a together thing. You know what I'm saying? We go together. I need to take the insight, listen to what he has to say, and just not be like, do what I say all the time. So it's like, like I said, we've been putting this mindset where, you know, we're constantly at war with each other, but we need to get back in that real king and real queen mindset and learn like we got to do this together. And that's the problem with the black man and woman today. Is like the stereotypes, the system, you know, stuff from generations back in history have constantly put us at war. But here's a catch-22. There's a lot of black women who won't do that with a white man, though. Look at the white man like, hey, you know, okay, the white man got it all together. You know what I'm saying? The white man, he's successful. The white man is the image of, you know, what a man is supposed to be. Even with the point, and I did not say, no, I'm gonna say this conversation. I'm gonna speak on it. Even from how they made Jesus a white man, we know ain't no dang way. Where's Jerusalem at, everybody? Where's Jerusalem? What continent is Jerusalem in? Africa.
Is it Africa? Oh, okay. I was scared to say nobody else was saying Africa, right? Okay.
African places in Africa. Y'all mean to tell me that white man was in Africa doing all that stuff in the Bible? You know what I'm saying? People don't want to speak on that, but it's a systematic thing. And once again, now it's going to, you know, black man versus the system and black man versus women. It's just like everything. And made it downplay the black man. Even in the Bible, when they describe what Jesus looked like, they describe bronze skin, woolly hair. I don't know white people with bronze skin and woolly hair. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? So I like it's just a mad thing to downplay the black man at every chance they get. John, I'm sorry. Before I move on to the conversation starter, John, did you have any insight you want to give on that topic? Remember, we talked the black man versus the woman. Remember?
Yeah. I mean, for me, bro. For me, it's a touchy subject because my wife is Cambodian.
Understood.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I can speak on it because I've been with black women. You know what I'm saying? My mom is a black woman. My sisters are black women. I grew up around black women my whole life. So, you know, and there's nothing against them or slight against them. Why I didn't choose to marry a black woman. It just so happened that my wife brought everything that I asked for and needed.
And his wife is lovely, guys. She's one of the most lovely people I've ever met in my life. We love me.
I appreciate it. You know, but still, just in any other marriage, it doesn't matter. We still fight. We still bicker. But my whole thing about the black woman versus the black man, I think personally, is beyond it being systemic, because that was right on the money. It's systemic from the beginning, but I think it has something to do with the people, the individuals. I think we aren't taking our time with each other like we should before we press go or before we go to the next level. I don't think that we've been taught from the beginning how to take our time before we even dive deeper and deeper. My parents have been married 3 different times and twice to each other, and divorced each other twice. So, you know what I'm saying? So there's things, everybody's not for everybody. I truly just believe that, you know, it starts with taking your time and actually being afraid of losing the other person. Because I know when I'm in situations where I'm not scared of losing this person or don't care, I get reckless. You know, but if I care about this person being in my life, then mentally I know that I can't treat them a certain way. It just all starts from the top to bottom, and it really starts with the man, bro. It starts with us, because not no woman is gonna come and propose to us. They're not gonna put nothing in us and get us pregnant. You know what I'm saying? It's up to us to put a condom on. It's up to us to pop the question. You know, it's up to us to lead and continue to be with this woman, or just be stronger and leave. You know, so I think it starts there. You know what I'm saying? Leading the other one to, hey, let's get you some help. Let's figure out what can we do here. And if it's nothing there, it's nothing there. I just think that we tend to also, you know, we give up too fast and we leave too early, and that's so messed up. It just all starts with the beginning. It starts with who you dealing with.
That's real. It sounded like for a second you were talking about real love.
Yeah.
He talking about that real love.
It's not easy, but hey, I think we gotta know that it's there.
Right. That's good insight. We had a conversation started pop up on the screen, and we could get it back. It says, Black men ain't the only ones with child support and felony issues. What about Black women felons? Oh, that's some good insight. You know, we're talking about Black men, but let's know I'm an equal opportunist here. Let's talk about the Black women too, and they issues dealing with child support and dealing with felonies. Miss Sonia, since you are a Black woman, we're gonna start with you. How you feel?
Wow.
The pressure is here, man.
I really, I don't understand how a woman cannot have her child. I used to work in foster care, and you know, there were women who had to come and have visitation with their children, supervised visitation, because they were not where they needed to be. And so when you talk about child support from a man to a woman, I can't help but think that it makes me look down on a woman. Like, how could you have carried and nurtured this child, and now you're out here just living your life, and the father has to pay child support? It just seems out of order. It's out of order, in my opinion.
Well, let's take this into consideration, because I try to be neutral in all situations and try to explain it from both points of views. When I think of women like that who have child support and who have felonies and stuff like that and everything, first of all, take into consideration what they have felonies for. Is it for trafficking, escorting, something to do with drugs? Did they steal from the bank or something like that, or from the store or something like that? Stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Then you got to think of, and it's the same thing with Black men, their upbringing. In today's society, a lot of women are raised up in households where they've been molested by their fathers or stepfathers or brothers and stuff like that. And then they get this mindset, which falls back on the Black men too. You know what I'm saying? The whole Black man versus woman subject, where women get this negative view of Black men because of what Black men have put them through. And now they respond a certain way in their real life, to the point where they don't give a crap. And I've been mistreated, so yeah, I'm gonna go strip, or yeah, I'm gonna go prostitute, or yeah, I'm gonna be on these drugs, and yeah, I'm gonna get pregnant by this nigga and this nigga and this dude, you know what I'm saying? And have all these kids I'm not ready to take care of and stuff like that and everything. And you got a lot of stuff against you. And we beat down on the women sometimes, like, well, dang, she got all these. I have a cousin actually who has 9 kids, and her kids were taken away. I don't know the full story, so I'm not going to divulge it, but I know it had a lot to do with the drugs. So, some of the kids were born as, crack babies and stuff like that. And she worked real hard to get her kids back and get straight and stuff like that. She's a hardworking, great mom right now and everything. But people all look at her and are like, dang, she ain't taking care of her kids. Then she's strung out under the drugs, stuff like that. But nobody ever thinks about what led to that.
Right.
What in that situation where she felt like she had to depend on them drugs, you know what I'm saying? And she couldn't reach out to nobody. Or did she have anybody, a man or family or anybody to depend on and help her in that situation? Or did she feel like she was alone and with life so hard that it made her how she was? So obviously there's some factors there. She's able to turn around and get right. So what led up to that situation to put her in that situation where she was in jail and couldn't get you know what I'm saying? People get certain things, and this comes the whole concept. I'm getting, I guess, smart from one point of view without getting understanding of the full story or getting insight. And that's the whole point of this show, conversations, to get understanding and get both sides. We have more enlightenment and understand and approach the situation in a better way. Shamar, go ahead and speak your piece, boss man.
I think on an individual level, women are judged very harshly. Mm-hmm. If they're like ex-cons or like they have child support. But I think on a societal level, men are judged very harshly. I think if you on a societal level, if you're a female ex-con, that's a tragedy and a failure of society. If you're a male ex-con, you're just a bum. You dusty.
Preach, Pastor. Preach.
What you do? Oh, you were 19 and you were hanging out with unscrupulous dudes and they robbed the bank. Oh, you should have known better. You know? Oh, you know, you didn't have a dad. You were grown. You know better. You know right and wrong. Like, listen, I haven't been I haven't been in the prison system, but I have been homeless. And the difference between how society views a woman that has failed and a man that has failed is vastly different. Like a woman can fail for years and like meet a man and like, oh my goodness, that's so beautiful. He got her off the street and he changed her life. Let a man do that. Girl, you need to leave him. He dusty. Yeah,
but that's real though. That's so real. And people don't look at it that way. It's a double standard that people don't really look at. It's so real though.
There's a lot of double standards in that. It's a whole lot.
Especially against black men. Actually, majority of those double standards are against black men. It's real.
When it comes to, and I'm not trying to cut like a man versus women thing, I'm just speaking the reality of it. A woman can be dusty until her 30s, until her 40s, and a dude come along like and just, you know, hey, I want you to be my wife, and boom, all of her past sins are erased. A dude do that, man, he gets dragged for the next 10 years, don't matter what he doing. This dude can be
check this one.
He still does.
An older woman can date a younger man and be considered a cougar, but an older man dates a younger woman is considered a pedophile.
Oh yeah,
you feel me?
That's out of pocket. You
that's real.
Out of pocket.
That's
an
real.
older woman dating
on the felony.
Got you a young king.
Yeah.
An older man dating a young. You want a little girl. Call CBS. Locked up.
Yeah, they got the what's that? The girl Drea Michelle messing with the basketball player Jalen. Got his last play for Houston.
Yeah.
But yeah, they getting onto that right now.
Look at Jada Pinkett Smith. She got a complete pass. A complete pass.
You messing with your son's friend, your son homeboy.
Will Smith be like, yeah, you know, I was talking to Willow's friend, and you know, she was looking kind of fine, so I had to tap in. Man, this boy, I mean, you know, after the old Chris Rock thing, he kind of, but his career would have been over. Even with that, let's take that Chris Rock situation. I know we kind of going off topic, but I'm trying to keep it like, you know, in the same scenario. So Will Smith got and takes out Chris Rock, right? And everybody saw like, oh, you shouldn't have did that and everything. Well, Jada Pinkett would have got up there and slapped Chris Rock. I'm talking about her. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, girl, you do that. He should have been open his mouth about you. You handle him, girl. Yeah. Oh, man, let me cook.
Right.
The people that were caping, like the women that were caping for Will Smith. Oh my goodness, he was protecting his woman and blah, and she threw this man completely under the bus. Jada Pinkett isn't the type that needs protection. Listen, man, it broke my heart. I wanted to go give Will Smith a hug. I don't even know that man like that.
Bro. Under the bus, that man was in the sewer. That man was under the street.
Jada Pinkett make it hard for black women out here. She's another one. I'm telling you, bro. As a black man, we want to look at our black woman or woman in period and respect them and revere them. But we got to have that up front. That's got to be given to us at all times. If it's ever a point, at any point where I feel slighted as a man, I'm checking that shit. So, like that right there, it felt like in our eyes, it kind of emasculated him, because it would have emasculated anybody if you step up and stand up for your wife, put your whole career on the line, and then you receive anything but he did that for me, or that's my husband, or anything but that is
admiration.
Right.
Exactly. Yes. Listen, I feel so bad for Will. Man. I do. I feel bad for this man, because not only did she put this man out here on Red Table Talk, whatever deal they should have had in the bedroom should have stayed in the house.
That's right.
Discuss business in public. Then talks about how this man is trash in bed, how she the Tupac letter really threw me out, because there's no reason your little girl should be talking about a dead man and making her mama happy. Then there was the slap and how she just threw this man under the bus after this dude ruined his reputation. Will was that dude before all this conversation came out. Will and Jada was that couple.
Yeah. Nicole made us put a verse about him. Or Joyner Lucas made a whole song about Will Smith. Right?
Exactly.
Great song.
And this dude gets up, ruins his nice guy reputation. Okay, gets his feelings, cusses this man out. Okay, we got men everywhere clowning this dude. We got women saying he stood up for his woman, and girl, you better freaking, you better, let him smash from the back on the kitchen table or whatever. This chick was like, oh, I don't need protection. Imagine you're Will Smith. This is more heat on top of the heat he was already catching. It was the August Allison thing that was going on that they literally were making music about, the entanglement song. It was the fact that his woman said he was trash in bed. It was his 40th birthday party where she threw it back in his face. It was his own kid.
I saw that.
It was his own kid. He wasn't too in his face.
Hold on, Terrence.
Hold on. Let me interject. I know we can talk about Will and Jada all day. You know what I'm saying? All day. But we gotta move on to the next subject. But it's a good thing that you are talking about Will Smith. For our next subject, the black man versus the black man. You're just talking about how people, downplay him because they feel like his masculinity was taken away and stuff like that and everything. So that's one thing we can hit, but another thing is, black men, how we view each other. Like, how can I say this and be correct when I say this? When black men should be coming together as brothers, it's like we've been trained to automatically see each other as the enemy, and we find any way to degrade each other, to downplay each other, to be crabs in the bucket, to each other. We don't want to see another black man win and stuff like that and everything. We get jealous when a black man has success or a good woman. Even in school, I work in the school system. When you see another black man, black young man, I should say, doing good and making good grades, getting praise in school, they downplay him and call him a nerd and call him lame and stuff like that because he's doing what he's supposed to do. If you're not living this thuggish, ghetto, trying to be hard stereotype, they downplay you for that. Right. But then when you are doing that, it's like it's a chest pump competition. Like, oh, who the hardest? Who got the biggest chest? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us end up killing each other for that stupid crap. Even from the things of, oh, I'm from Moncrief and I'm from 103rd. Like, y'all both live in Jacksonville. What does it matter what neighborhood y'all in? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stuff like that. So let's speak on the black man versus black man, how we've been mentally trained to be each other's enemies instead of each other's brothers.
Boy, I'm about to cook. Cook. Listen, again, this goes back to when we were slaves. She mentioned it earlier, the light skin versus dark skin conversation, the city versus rural conversation, the nerd versus street dude conversation. Like me, I was never a street dude. I wasn't like out there like that. One, because I had brothers who did serious time and was like, yo, listen, when you in prison, all that street dude stuff go right out the window. You you a number just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
All the dudes that you were chopping it up with and doing dirt with, they still making money. You still like they still dating. You in there smelling man feet and BO.
And about to be somebody's booty partner.
You know what I'm saying?
It ain't happened that way for everybody, but a lot of people it did happen that way.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I mean, when you talk about black men emasculating each other, since we were just on the Will Smith and the Chris Rock thing, I understand that Will was trying to protect his queen and stuff, but how emasculating for you to go on stage live and smack another black man.
Because that could have been a
joke. I mean,
that could have been a conversation man to me. They hadn't got that far.
But hey, that's black versus black man right there. Mm-hmm. There's a backstory behind that too. That's not the first time Chris Rock has quote unquote disrespected them at an award show.
That's true.
I think maybe that was like the straw that broke the camel's back, maybe. Mm-hmm. But still, it's all bad.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand that whole situation of protecting your woman, but like in his situation, with everything that was going on, like if I was his friend, I'd be like, sit down, dude. She ain't the one to be doing that for.
Yeah,
right. He just telling his jokes.
She ain't the one to be doing that. Handle that backstage because blow up in your face. Then another issue that in the black community, it started a conversation around, well, would you do that? You know, if I was in the streets and I'm like, yo, getting smacked is like, that's some serious stuff. That's like one blow getting spit in the face.
But look at this
got their lives took over getting slapped out. You know, like it's not, you know, Chris Rock got millions of dollars. He got lawyers and, you know, he can afford a little slap. The dude that had the comedy shack sitting on his girl's couch trying to make it, he ain't gonna have the same response to getting slapped in the face, dude.
Check what you said though. You said, would you have done that same thing if you were in the streets? You know, when people say that, they talking about an idea of nobody. First of all, let's keep it G. Ain't nobody ever said that to no white person. If we was in the streets, I bet you want to do all that and everything. That's straight like, y'all seen that episode of Boondocks talk about the nigga moments?
Yes.
That was good.
It's a black man versus black man scenario. That's the only time they ever bring that up. You know what I'm saying? It's something like that. You know what I'm saying? So why is it that we always have these stereotypes and all these sayings and slogans that put us against each other so much? You know what I'm saying? Because I was son when he was younger, and we was listening to Drake. And I know that whole song, like no new friends, we don't need that, something like that. You know what I'm saying? I forget how it goes. I don't listen to Drake like that, surprisingly. But he was saying that. I'm like, dang, back to not only black man versus black man, but black man versus the system. I'm like, he's literally in music promoting being enemies with people. I don't need friends. For myself, it's a musical plot to separate each other from each other and to try to make us think we don't need each other as a people. You know what I'm saying? And people don't get that because the beat is catchy. I guess the verses are kind of raw. I guess I don't know. You know, I'm not a big Drake fan like that, but it's no diss toward Drake or nothing like that. You know, I just I'm more of a conscious rap kind of dude. I'm J. Cole, Kendrick, Georgia, Logic kind of dude. So. It's like all that stuff is being put in our minds subconsciously, you know what I'm saying? And the whole thing about Bloods and Crips, you know what I'm saying, being amplified, like it's a big thing that these two groups were at war. They that not even realizing the real reason behind the Bloods and Crips was to protect the neighborhoods, not to be at war with each other and be in the gang stuff they on now. You know what I'm saying? Tupac and Biggie. Anytime you hear about beef, majority of the times it's about black men beefing with each other. You know what I'm saying?
That starts with us, bro.
Huh?
That starts with us. It literally just starts with the older guys, the leadership. But people kind of tired of hearing that. That's very cliche to say, but it really, really, really deeply starts with the inside of the neighborhoods that all these people live in, you live in, everybody live in. It's like gathering these people, young black people, and like we gotta somehow something has to galvanize their mind, because once you become introduced into a criminal mind state, that shit don't really just go away, bro, because I'm not a criminal no more, but the mind state is still there. So when we go to talk about felons and stuff like that, I have a soft spot for it. So I'm like, okay, whatever, they maybe need a second chance. But then at the same time, I'm like, well, it's no excuse. You know, all these different things play in the mind. So it starts with the leadership and everybody knowing that, hey, we got to stick together. Black people, we got to stick together, because this is what's going on. You got to put it in people's face. We got to display it. Like Martin Luther King and all of them didn't have to display it because it was shown to them every day. The racism ain't in our face no more. A lot of times it's systemic, and it's within our job, it's within business, it's all over the place, and it's invisible, and you may never know. You know, you go try to get a loan from the bank, you might not get it, but it all starts with us. We need to raise the bar. It's Black excellence in its truest form. Raising the bar with one another. Hey man, I got more expectations out of you, and you need to have more expectations out of your brother. Give me that rag, give me that, because the easiest thing for you to do is to go on the street and bang. That's the easiest thing to do, is to go be a gangster, bro. Because you can be a gangster and get all the pussy in the world because you a gangster. You know, you gonna be a gangster and get some pussy from women that like gangsters, or you gonna get money and get some pussy from women that like money. You just gonna, you know what I'm saying, do what you're supposed to do as a man, get you a family, get you your right woman. But you gotta make money, or you gonna be a gangster.
That's real.
That's real. Absolutely. Straight up cooking, man. Cooking. I agree with him, man. Like, it all comes down to community. You know, that's one thing that we've lost in the Black community, is the idea of community. Like, again, if you saw a Black man struggling in the community, and this is like, again, back in the Black Wall Street days, it was part of your responsibility as a member of that community to at least check on dude and try to at least point him to somebody that could help him out. Like, there's a reason why the barbershop and like the pool hall and salon were like epicenters of the Black community, because that's where everybody communicated. Hey, Terrence, what can he do? You know, what can he do? He draws and stuff like that. Hey, so and so that lives, you know, shout out to my Detroit lady, you know, so and so that lives on 7 Mile, he needs a mural painted. Okay, hey, T-Horne, hey, go, so here's his number.
Let me ask y'all this. With that being said, so y'all, like I said, y'all know I work in the school system, and I work in an all boys program. So I see Black young men every single day, and my biggest issue, I'm at my job generally to help the youth. That's my passion and stuff like that. But it gets hard because every school year, I see these kids every single school year. It seems like these Black men are getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And in the classrooms, I see this Black man versus Black man thing. They always at each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's even hard for them to give each other praise or to uplift each other. Even something like, I'm gonna give you a scenario. The kids see me every day. I'm in most of their minds a positive, you know, inspirational, motivational guy, you know, so somebody to look up to because I have their best interests at heart, right? But they see me and they call me the nickname Shiny. They call me Shiny because I'm always well groomed. My hair is always moisturized. My skin is always moisturized, looks like that. I'm very clean, keep myself up and everything like that. That's a good trait to have as a Black man.
Right.
But the kids make fun of it. It's so messed up in society today. They don't even know how to praise and compliment another Black man about the good things. The only time you hear somebody say something good about another Black man is if you got some nice shoes. Hey, bro, I like the gym. You know what I'm saying? That's basically it. But everything else, they find every reason to downplay each other. So my question with saying that is, do you think that the whole idea of Black men coming together as brothers is that idea, like, you know, a fantasy? Is it too far gone? You know what I'm saying? Is it something that's almost like impossible to happen this generation, this age?
No, not at all. I mean,
how do you do it? How?
Huh?
How do all of us get on the same page around
and that's the point
United States of America as African Americans?
Mm-hmm. That's the point I'm trying to make right now. Yeah, because it seems like as time goes on, we hear all this stuff about, you know, I believe it's after 4,000 years, we'll all come together and stuff like that. And then when we get through, a white cop kills us, we all want to come together for a brief moment, But yet we still complain about, oh, the white man, the cops killing each other, Black Lives Matter, stuff like that. But then we go do the same thing in the streets at a higher rate. We kill each other more than the cops kill us. We don't want to talk about that though. You know what I'm saying? Right. We play out, we cheating our women more than any other race. We don't want to talk about that. We have more fathers not being in the homes than any other race. We want to talk about that. We're killing each other, giving each other more STDs, selling each other more drugs than more than any other race. But we don't want to talk about that. The only time Black people come together is when another race or somebody's not like us is coming against us. But nobody ever talks about how we are coming against each other. So again,
how do you clean up the street?
Huh?
How do you clean up the street? How do you clean up the street? Because when you got bastards on the street, there's nothing we can do with them. I'm sorry. We got to be real as a people. When you got somebody that's strung out on drugs, yeah, you can send them to a program. But if they don't want to be there, they're going to get out of that program. We know people like that.
Because personally speaking, not putting it on blast, me and you has a friend that deals with that personally. And we both have tried to talk to that friend and seen it's been to no avail and stuff like that. They have to do it on their own. But that's why I'm asking the question, because even with me working with youth, I have to ask myself sometimes, as Black people, are we too far gone? You know, and it plays into our next topic.
I think we are. It really, I don't see how we can come back with the, you know, you're snitch. Snitches get stitches. So we're not even telling on each other. We're not, you know what I mean? You know that Johnny killed his girlfriend. You know, you need to tell on Johnny. Johnny needs to be punished. But we're not going to do that. Oh, no, you're not about to snitch.
Right.
So how do you know? There's no way to. I don't see how. It's too ingrained at this point.
So listen,
do we go protest at all these concerts and say, "Hey, we want better music because this is what we on right now"?
What protesting gonna do? Because not about what you say, about what you do, right? And protesting just another people using their verbiage. You know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, I gotta pause, y'all. I gotta pause. We got like a little less than 10 minutes left in the show, but I am going to revisit this topic on another show, and it's called "Do Black Lives Really Matter?" And I'm thinking about inviting you guys or some other people Black on the show to get some insight on it. But let's talk about the last topic. We got to be over in a little bit. With all that being said, we talk about white people, we talk about women, we talk about the system, we talk society, we talk about Black people as Black people. But with all this going on, how does a Black man view himself? The Black man is like, it's like with all this going on, it's like the Black man is taught to hate himself for being Black. We want to be white because white is successful and, you know, is looked at as, you know, they're the top of the food chain when it comes to race and stuff like that. Some of us hate being men because women just seem like they have it easier in life because, you know, everything's really catered to them and stuff like that and everything. I just feel like the Black man, and this isn't just saying, I'm not just saying I'm a Black man, I'm saying it from the outside looking in too. The Black man has it so hard and he beats himself up. And then if you go around, you're a Black man that made mistakes, Lord forbid, you was a drug dealer. Lord forbid, you got a bunch of baby mamas and a bunch of kids. Lord forbid, you got failed marriages. Lord forbid that you ain't got the money that a successful man supposed to have when you ain't go to college or any failure in life. It's like when it happens to anybody else, they get a pass. There's white privilege. There's the fact that there's a woman. Everybody has a way out except the Black man. So how can the Black man possibly view himself positively if the whole world is against him? And now the whole world being against him, now he's against himself too. So, as a black man, how do you guys think we can rebuild and motivate ourselves to look at ourselves in different ways, not looking at us, it's not looking in the mirror every day and hating who we are? Oh, yes,
that starts with a
That's with the church. Is that what you said, Shamari?
Shoot, man, that's a rough question. I think it's a multi. You know, I think on one end, I think what you're doing, reaching out to the youth, is very important because they're going to become the adults of the future. Now, me personally, a little shameless self-promotion. I reach out to men in the 25 to 45, 50 range because they're the ones out here raising families, working in the community. They're the men that the younger men need to see doing the right thing so that they can be inspired to do the next right thing. You know, we do need more positive music pushed out to the industry. You know, we don't need any Cardi B's or Sexy Reds or Futures. You know,
we don't have any more Malcolm X's or Martin Luther Kings or anything like that in this generation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats think that's lame. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't have anybody talking about black positivity, black excellence. You know, we don't even have anybody being musically creative. You know, we don't have any Outkast or any pre-crazy Kanye West. We don't have any like we don't got any qualities of most deaths anymore. You know,
that's the problem. It's got to be all that. It's got to be all that. We got to make people ashamed of making that type of music. And I love gangster music, unfortunately, but I got to get out of that. I don't care about it enough. I care about my people more than that.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to kind of harken back to the civil rights movement where they made so much noise they couldn't be ignored, and they made noise in the front. They made noise in the movies. They made noise in poetry. They made noise in music. They made noise politically. They made noise socially.
You know,
and like,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. See, finish the thought. I'm sorry.
They made so much noise that the greater culture had to pay attention. You know, maybe it is time to start disrupting the music industry. Hey, listen, you know, we're not gonna stream the Sexy Reds and the Cardi B's and Nicki Minaj's and all. We're not gonna do all that. And you know what? These movies perpetuate negative black stereotypes. We're not gonna be on that. You know what? Like Tyler Perry make more movies.
You know what? One thing I've heard a lot in this conversation, which makes me want to have a whole conversation about it, is the music industry and how it affects us as black people. I know there'll be a lot of times, like me and my wife, we have our type of music we listen to. Like we love the old school music. We love, you know, the reggae music and stuff like that. And there's a lot of stuff, early 2000s, all that stuff and everything. But one thing me and her disagree on a lot, she likes to listen to a lot of gangster rap and a lot of rap talking about stuff that ain't really positive. And I like to listen to more conscious rap, like the J. Cole's and the Kendricks. And, you know, people who talk to me, if you ain't saying nothing, I can't hear you. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, her mindset is probably like, it's just music, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, you know, hey, you know, if it's about what's speaking to you, what is putting you subconscious and stuff like that and everything. So, you know, that's going to be another conversation to have. And not no downplay to my wife, because music, so she like her music, I like music too. But it just, you know, that when I hear you guys talk about music constantly, you know, I'm starting to see
that's a big deal, bro.
Yeah, but guys, I want to take time and thank y'all for having this conversation because our time is up. It's time to wrap it up. This was a beautiful, beautiful conversation, and I'm glad you gave insight on it. John, thank you for coming. Shamari, thank you for coming. Sonya, thank you for coming, guys. This was a great conversation, and I'm just going to invite you guys back for other segments and everything. So stay in the loop because this is conversations, and I got a lot more to talk about. All right.
Man.
Oh, we'll do. Of course. I know you want to talk now, John. I know you got a lot to talk about now.
No, I mean it's whatever. You pull up on me on the next one, whatever.
Yes, sir. I'll keep you posted. But with that being said, you know, we at our limit, guys. You guys want to say anything before we go ahead and roll out?
I just want to, as my last thought, it is really hard to think about trying to change different things when we are against each other, not only as Black people, but are shades of Black. And I think that that is something that really is detrimental. So, you know, it would be great to talk about that one day. I have a twin sister who talks about my shade. We're twins. And she's darker than me, yeah, but we're twins. So I think it's things like that that is just, you know, it's just a vote. Our votes don't count. It's just music. You know, I'm just listening to the just. That would be a great topic. Just because it's not just. Your vote could be the last vote that makes sure Trump doesn't get back into office.
Okay, Shamari, John, anything?
Let John go first.
I'm hey man, this is a great segment. I appreciate you inviting me. Me personally, just really quick, I grew up in different Black churches, from Philly, LA, wherever I was at, I was in a Black church, and I was made to do African American history projects, speak in front of people, all that good stuff. So I actually get emotional when certain things about us as a race come up, and I get very passionate about it. So, you know, I'm with it all. I want to go make a difference somehow. I just don't really know where to start. I don't want it to be all in vain. I got a whole family, whole business to take care of, and it's hard. But if somebody comes with some ideas, the only thing I can think of is maybe we get together and literally try to make some noise against the music that is being put out here on the radios and everything, bro. I think we need to start there. I think that'll trickle down into a whole lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If somehow we can do it, I just don't know how.
Okay, Shamari.
Listen, I'm on my like, for me personally, I think it all comes down to the men in the community. I think they're the leaders of the church, they're the leaders of the community, they're the leaders of the family. And I think if we get the men, and I mean the integral men, from like 20 on to, like I said, 50, I think we could legitimately change the world. You know, if we can get them moving in a proper direction, I think we pull the rest of the community with us. You know, if we get men operating to their standard, you know,
I hear Million Man March.
Right.
You know, we can get the women to kind of bring back submissiveness. We can get the kids to be excited about growing up to being responsible adults. But I think it all comes back to proper masculinity and proper manhood.
So real quick, guys, could you guys tell anybody who's going to watching the show how they can get in contact with you guys, or any information about any businesses or things you got going on by any chance?
Well, my name is Sonia B. I am in Michigan. My email address is truthfulblackwoman1@gmail.com. I was given that moniker because I try to stay truthful at all times. I definitely appreciate being invited to this segment. It's so great to speak to different mindsets, male and female alike. And I look forward to the next one.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm at Dedicated John. That's my IG, but that's pretty much it.
You ain't telling about your business, the trucking company?
I mean, I own a trucking company, but you know, it's typically my customers are like warehouses and businesses. So, you know, I used to do household moving where I dealt with a regular consumer, but I had enough of y'all. So hey,
I tell you what, get your information, because we promote businesses on this, and we try to make sure that everybody gets the information out, because you never know what this conversation could lead to. Because the right person might see this conversation and might want to do business with you. So we'll get that information.
That's true, man. So my trucking company is called Dedicated and Dependable Logistics. You can find us at Dedicated. The letter N is in November, dependable.com. And you can even apply for a job if you're looking for a driving job.
There you go. Shamari?
Yo, so my contact information is the cross and the cuff link at gmail.com. I have founded an organization called the Crossing the Cufflink, which promotes biblical masculinity. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram under Crossing the Cufflink. I also sell T-shirts on T-Public, same name, the Crossing the Cufflink. All about promoting positive masculinity, biblical man, training men in the spiritual, physical aspects of being a man in modern day society. So check me out.
I love it.
And y'all know me. Read right down here. Facebook.com. Conversation with T-Horne da Uncool, or Facebook.com/T the Uncool. I really enjoyed this conversation with you guys. You know, the whole point of the show, like I said, is to talk about issues that may be a little bit uncomfortable, but to bring enlightenment. Because the problem with society today is that a lot of people throw negativity, throw judgment, and just throw stereotype of situations, but nobody's taking the time to talk about it, to get true understanding and get true enlightenment so they can understand it and look from a different point of view. Today, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have looked at this conversation and they're like, well, dang, I never thought of it that way. But now, gave them a whole new way to think about it. Maybe they can approach the situation differently and approach the situation in a more positive, more peaceful way. They can help bring people together. That's the point of conversations. Talking about uncomfortable, negative stereotype issues, giving enlightenment and bringing people together because of it. So that being said, I enjoyed you guys. I'm T-Horne da Uncool, and this is Conversation with T-Horne da Uncool. You know how we do it. We had a good time. Be blessed. Be uncool, man.
Peace.
Don't judge me until you know me. Don't underestimate me until you challenge me. And don't talk about me until you talk to me. Or better yet, mind your business and stop minding mine.
Yeah, I'm the topic of conversation. Circles talk about me. Yeah, I'm in rotation. I'm the one they talk and then they gossip about. Now it's so hard for them to keep my name out their mouth. Oh, I'm the topic of conversation. Circles talk about me. Yeah, I'm in rotation. I'm the one they talk and then they gossip about. Now it's so hard for them to keep my name out their mouth. Oh, my name coming out must taste good if you keep it in your mouth. Got something must for you if you go down south. I'm just playing. What the heck you talking about, huh? Why you worry about who I wanna date, huh? Why on the main course on your plate, huh? Why everything concerning me gotta turn to be argument or debate, huh? Is he a Christian religion? Has he forsaken? He just was dating her. How many women he dating? Had another kid? That nigga don't know when to stop. I heard he smoking, getting high. Boy, that fell from the top. See what I learned. This your concern. It's all about me. Y'all gossiping made me look at y'all like female dolls in heat. But let's make something concrete. I'm seasoned, yes indeed. Y'all must like the recipe, cause y'all all on my meat. Yeah, I'm the topic of conversation. Circles talk about me. Yeah, I'm in rotation. I'm the one they talk and then they gossip about. Now it's so hard for them to keep my name out their mouth. Oh, I'm the topic of conversation. Circles talk about me. Yeah, I'm in rotation. I'm the one they talk and then they gossip about. Now it's so hard for them to keep my name out their mouth. Oh, haters try to diss me, they love me, but they dismiss me. Play hard, but act this sissy. They lies be so convincing, and exes get jealous quickly. They won't admit that they miss me. They hate that I moved on, so use my children against me just to keep up the top. People peep on my wall just to keep tabs on my flaws, just to keep me involved. Doing everything they ask me, but that ain't enough. I'm on everybody's tongue and everybody on my jump. His rap career won't take off. That nigga ain't hard, he really soft. Try to see his page, but I'm blocked. He was living for Jesus, then he stopped. He get girls just to knock him off. He lies, the truth ain't what he taught. I be so close to popping off, but then I realize I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I'm the topic of conversation. Circles talk about me. Yeah, I'm in rotation. I'm the one they talk and then they gossip about. Now it's so hard for them to keep my name out their mouth. Oh, I'm the topic of conversation. Circles talk about me. Yeah, I'm in rotation. I'm the one they talk and then they gossip about. Now it's so hard for them to keep my name out their mouth. Oh,
My whole life, I lived it based off of other people's opinions. They judge what I do, what I say, how I think, and I judge my whole life based off their interpretations. But now I got to the point where I realize my life is my own. live it. So, if you got an opinion, keep it to yourself. I'ma live how I see fit.
I'm the topic of conversations. Yeah, I'm in rotation. Gossip about. Keep my name out their mouth. Oh.